I'm Benjamin Yant with this Watchdog.org news update for Friday the 13th of July, hopefully a TGI Friday and not an axe murdery Friday. It's more bad fiscal news for another Pennsylvania city. The city of Scranton continues to struggle with a crushing debt and no way to pay its bills or workers. Employees of the city are now being paid minimum wage because local leaders can't agree to raise taxes and banks won't lend Scranton any money. PA Independent is reporting that the state will lend Scranton $2 million and kick in another $250,000 in grants to cover costs, but only if the city's mayor and city council can agree to a long-term cost-cutting plan by August 1st and enact that plan by August 15th. The story from PA Independent says that's a long shot. An indicted Illinois lawmaker will likely face punishment next week. Members of a state House committee have turned down State Rep Derek Smith's request for more time to prepare an answer for lawmakers who are trying to decide what to do with him. Federal prosecutors dropped an indictment on Smith, who's a Chicago Democrat, for allegedly taking a $7,000 bribe from a daycare provider in exchange for a letter that could help that daycare get some state grant money. Lawmakers will meet in Chicago next week. Smith could either be expelled, censured, reprimanded, or exonerated. Governors from across the country are heading to Virginia for their annual meeting, where they're expected to try and find answers to rising Medicaid costs and determine the impact of the patient protection law on the states. But Virginia doesn't have any unique answers. A story from Virginia Watchdog pegs the cost for Medicaid expansion in Virginia at least $2.2 billion next year alone. The only problem is lawmakers don't know where that money is going to come from. State Senator Richard Black, who serves on Virginia's Senate Education and Health Committee, says the state has to find real dollars to pay that increase, dollars that will likely come from other areas of state government. Virginia spent nearly $3 billion on Medicaid last year. That's a 15% jump from 2010. And here's another pension worry for you if you've been worrying about pensions, and you should. Frank Keegan writes in a piece today that investment houses are trying to get states across the country to agree to a standard set of measuring sticks for pension investments. Why, and why is it important? Because Keegan found a nugget in Montana's latest pension report that says the amortization period for that state's pensions is infinite. In plain English, that means the state is basically counting on taxpayers paying forever to cover the cost of retirees. A Moody's conference call on Tuesday asked for states to adopt a 5.5% rate of return and a 13-year amortization. That's unlikely. Changing the measurements could, according to Keegan, skyrocket pension debt for states across the country, and it would force lawmakers to do something they very often don't want to do, and that's act immediately. You can read more on that story, and you should, along with all of our other stories, at watchdog.org, or you can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, Watchdog.org.